Welcome to Reach the World ASAP. I'm Pastor Scott Griswold, the Associate Director of ASAP Ministries. I want you to imagine how life would be for you if you had been born in another place, in another situation. To walk in their flip-flops for a moment. First, think about this mother and then a little boy. These are true stories of people our national missionaries have met. Imagine you are a mother in Cambodia. Picture yourself. It's late at night. You are lying with your two boys on the low bamboo table that serves as your bed. No mattress, just a thin mat under a mosquito net. Your boys are asleep, but you lie awake, worrying. Your husband has not yet come home. He seldom comes home until it's very late. Almost always, he's drunk. He smells awful, like cheap beer. But this time, he is really late. Finally, you hear the sound of his motorcycle. It's so noisy. The muffler is rusted out. He yells for you to unlock the gate. It's so embarrassing to you. What are the neighbors thinking? You know what they're thinking. You slip through the mosquito net and hurry to the gate. The gate creaks, then bangs. Your husband stumbles on a metal bucket, sending it clanking, and he swears hard. Try to be quiet, you tell him softly. We don't want the neighbors to wake. He swears again and swings at you. I don't care what they think. They all hate me anyway. You don't say another word. You hope he won't wake the boys, shouting so loud. But as you crawl back into bed, you can't stop thinking about the boys. They are 8 and 11 years old. How many times have you begged your husband to let them go to school? Every day you see them watch the children walk by on their way to school in their blue and white uniforms, laughing with their friends. How many times have you said to your husband, they can't have a better future than ours if we make them work every day? He always retorts back, you can't study if you can't eat rice. You can't eat rice if you don't work. They will help in the shop again today. If only he'd listen. The money he spends on alcohol and gambling would more than make up for anything the boys can earn. But he won't listen. Now imagine if you are the struggling mother when her husband finally decides he's had enough of being a husband and a dad, as bad of one as he is, and runs off with another woman, leaving you all alone. Perhaps at first you're glad. No more yelling, no more beatings, no more worrying about him late at night. But now you are truly all alone, with no one else to bring in any money. This is the real story of John Mom. She's 34 years old. Meanwhile, not too far away is another boy living without a father. Imagine you are him. Fanak has never known his dad. It's just him and his mother. Their home is 6 feet by 6, just a brick room that mommy must rent for $20 a month. Only one little window, place where the smoke can go up from their little brick stove. Every day you hope there will be some rice in that old black kettle. A little bit of dried fish and greens would be nice too, but you hope at least for some rice to fill your tummy. Sometimes you get something delicious. Fanak's mom sells cakes of sticky rice and bananas. Can you picture waking up every morning before the sun? You can hear your mother slicing the long leaves to wrap the cakes. Then it's time for you to help her cut the bananas and hold the leaves while she pours the uncooked rice around the slices. It takes a long time, but finally you're done. You wash your hands in the bucket that you hauled in the night before. Water is not free. You have to buy it from the neighbor. So you're careful not to waste it because you want a bath tonight when you're all sweaty and dirty. No sticky rice and bananas this morning. They'll only be yours if mom can't sell them today. A little bit of leftover dried rice and a half-rotten orange you found yesterday is all you've got for breakfast. Then it's time for mom to go sell her cakes and time for you to go to work. That's what you call it anyway, as if you were the man of the house at age 7. Fanak, the garbage collector, that's you. You'll walk several miles today trying to beat other children to something the rich people have thrown away. Nothing like old fans or stereos. People usually sell those to the guys on their bikes. Cardboard is usually picked up by the adults or the big kids and hauled in their carts. But you can gather water bottles and occasionally some soda cans and beer bottles if you're lucky. It's dangerous for a little boy to carry anything very big or expensive. Someone else might grab it from you or even hit you before yanking it away. You walk on and on. The sun is so hot beating down on your neck. One of your flip-flops breaks. You don't want to walk barefoot on the hot road, so you search for something to tie it up. Some old plastic rope. It works, sort of. You're so thirsty, but but none of the water bottles have anything left in them, and supper's still a long ways away. The worst part of the day, though, is when you see those children get out of school. You hate the way they walk past you, not even noticing you're there. Those boys in their blue and white uniforms, carrying their books, laughing as they go. What's it like to go to school? To sing out the Khmer alphabet, Ga Ka Go Kongo, Ja Cha Jo Chonyo, and really know what you're talking about. What's it like to sit in school and write in those colorful notebooks? Mom says it's not for you. School may be free, but uniforms cost money. Every kid needs a tutor in order to pass. No, school's not for you, but you can't help wonder and dream. This is the real story of Vanak. It's not been very fun to imagine, has it? Is there a good ending? Well, for many mothers and many children, there is no happy ending. But for Janmom and Vanak, there is. Janmom was about to give up. She had gotten sick, felt so discouraged, she was ready to take her own life. Then church planter Sovanuret, his wife, and their daughter stopped to visit her. She didn't say much. She was embarrassed by her own poverty. But they kept coming to see her. No one had ever cared for her like this. They invited her and her boys to church. She went. Everybody was so friendly. They really cared. She couldn't understand why, but it felt good, and her boys loved it. When she got sick, they took her to a free hospital. They even found free schooling for her boys. They gave her just enough money to help get her on her feet and guide her to being able to support her family again. Now she wants to give her heart to Jesus. It was him that found her in her darkest moment and gave her hope. Vanak too. Sovanuret found him also. He saw him out there picking up those bottles and cans on the street, and he said, "Come here, son. Here's a cake to eat." Vanak was so surprised. It tasted good. It felt so nice to have somebody notice him and be kind. He was really touched, and so he said to the stranger, "Would you come meet my mother?" When Sovanuret got to the house, he could see why there was no money for this boy to go to school. He told her, "I know an organization that will pay to put him in public school." You see, our Feed and Read school was too far away. Vanak couldn't believe it. A uniform, school books, a chance to learn? He wouldn't have to paw through garbage anymore. He could not believe his luck. But then he got invited to church, and he would find out that it wasn't just luck. First, his mother did not want to let him go. She was a Buddhist. But after a while, the kindness of the Christians won her over. She let him go to church. She let him get baptized. Now Vanak helps at church all the time. He's 13 years old and in grade 7. I am sure he will have a wonderful future serving God. We've imagined what it would be like if we were them in their flip-flops. Now let's imagine something better. Let's imagine children everywhere off the streets and in wonderful schools. Let's imagine Christians everywhere going without something they don't need so they can give their money to make this dream possible. Let's do more than imagine. Jesus said, "Do to others as you would have them do to you." You can promote the needs of poor mothers and street children in your own churches and schools. You may not have a lot of money to give, but you can help raise money. Just tell stories like I tell you, and with them, you can give to send the children to school. Right at our website, asapministries.org, you'll find new ways to promote and give. So imagine, take action. Let's reach the world ASAP.